Welcome to a new crochet tutorial. Today I would like to show you how to crochet this beautiful yet simple mosaic crochet stitch, which can be used for a variety of projects. I crocheted a baby blanket, but you can crochet a full-size Afghan, you can make a cushion cover, or any project of your choice. I work with 3 colors, but you can use more than 3, and I think the stitch can be good for using up leftover yarns. For example, you can crochet yourself a colorful and vibrant rug. And just like many other mosaic crochet stitches, the pattern looks fancy only on one side. The other side is rather boring. It's just horizontal lines. And I just want to say to those of you who are on Instagram, and if you like to post pictures of your crochet items, please follow me on Instagram, Olga Poltava Crochet. And if you post a picture of the project that you finished from my tutorial or from my pattern and you tag me, I'll be able to see it. And it always gives me lots of joy seeing your projects done from my patterns or tutorials. And now let's start the tutorial. The yarn that I used is Feels Like Butta by Lion Brand Yarns. I used 3 skeins of dark gray, 2 skeins of red, and 2 skeins of light gray. And the reason I used 3 skeins of dark gray is because I used that 3rd skein for the border on the blanket. I worked with a hook size H 5 millimeters, but you can work with a larger size hook if that's more convenient for you. For the purpose of the tutorial, I will make a small sample to demonstrate this stitch. The starting chain must be a multiple of 4 plus 1. For my blanket, I started with 101 chains, but for the sample, I will start with 25 chains. So I do it in the first color, which in my case, dark gray. Here I have 25 chains, and the first row is very simple. It's going to be a row of single crochets. I work the first single crochet into the 2nd chain from the hook. We never count the chain on the hook, we start counting from the next one. So 1, 2, and over here I make a single crochet. And now I simply make a single crochet into each chain across. Here I crocheted the first row, and in this row I have 24 single crochets. The starting chain was 25. I started with 25 chains, and now I have 24 single crochets. I turn my work, and the next row is quite simple. It's gonna be a row of single crochets again. So I start with 1 chain, and then I make a single crochet into each stitch across. So right here I make the first one, and then I simply crochet a single crochet into each single crochet across, and in this row I will have 24 single crochets as well. Here I have 2 rows finished, and at this point I will change the color, and I will change the color after each 2 rows. So here I am at the end of the 2nd row. I'm not going to cut off the yarn. I will carry on all the different color yarns. I will never cut them off, but I attach a new one in the following way. I undo the last stitch, but not completely, just that last loop. So here I have 2 loops on the hook, and I take my red color yarn. I fold it like this. Right here I have about 4 inches of yarn, and I finish this last stitch with this 2nd color. I turn my work, and now I will continue crocheting with the red yarn. I make 1 chain, and as I continue crocheting, I will crochet over this short tail of the red yarn so that it gets hidden along the way. And now into each stitch I work a single crochet. So the first one is over here, and then I continue crocheting, making a single crochet into each single crochet, and as I said, the red yarn tail, the short one, gets hidden under my stitches. So this is the gray yarn. I keep it to the right and I continue making single crochets into each single crochet. Here I finished the third row. I turn my work and now again I crochet a row of single crochets. So I start with one chain and into each single crochet I work a single crochet. So here I have 4 rows of single crochets and in each row I have 24 single crochets. Make sure you don't lose any stitches. And it's time to change the color. I'm going to add light gray. Again, I undo this last stitch, but not completely, just the top loop. And I finish this last single crochet with the light gray yarn. Pull down the red yarn just to adjust it, turn my work, and the next row I will crochet with light gray. This short tail is gonna go to the left of my work because I will crochet over it so it gets hidden into my work. So I make 1 chain and into the first single crochet right here I work a single crochet. Into the next single crochet I work a single crochet and into the next one a single crochet. So far I have 3 single crochets. Next I'm going to skip the next single crochet and I'm gonna look at this single crochet right here, the next one, and I'm going to go down to the 3rd row. So this is the first row, counting down, this is the second, and this is the 3rd. So I identify this single crochet 3 rows down, and this single crochet is right under the single crochet of my last row, not the one that I skipped, but the next one right here. So I identify the stitch, and this is how I'm going to insert the hook, working my next stitch, which is a front post double crochet. So I do yarn over and I insert the hook around that single crochet and I make a double crochet. So this double crochet is tilted to the side because I skipped 1 stitch. So right there, this is my skipped stitch. So this double crochet that is tilted to the side corresponds to that skipped stitch. And now into the next stitch I work a single crochet. And now into each one of the next 2 single crochets I work a single crochet. 1, 2. And now I'm going to do the same thing. I skip the next single crochet and then the next one I identify the stitch right under it 3 rows down. 1, 2, 3. Right here, this is the stitch. So this is where I will insert the hook. Yarn over, and over here I work a front post double crochet. And again, the stitch is tilted to the side because there is a stitch that I skipped that now corresponds to this stitch. And into the next stitch I work a single crochet. So just be very careful to make sure that you are skipping only 1 single crochet on the back. Now into each one of the next 2 single crochets, again I work a single crochet. 1, 2. I skip the next single crochet and the next one I identify the stitch under it 3 rows down. 1, 2, 3 right here, and around that stitch I work a front post double crochet. And this is how I'm going to continue crocheting this row. So it goes 3 single crochets, then 1 single crochet skipped and a double crochet worked, and a front post double crochet worked around the single crochet of the 3rd row down. Then again 3 single crochets and this front post double crochet, 3 single crochets, front post double crochets. And that's how I finished this row. Here I made 3 single crochets and I still have 1 stitch left, so I'm going to make a single crochet there as well. So let's take a look again. Let's see how the pattern goes. It's 3 single crochets, tilted front post double crochet, 3 single crochets, tilted front post double crochets, and so on. But at the end of the row it's always going to be 4 single crochets, not 3 but 4. And also to double check to see if you made these tilted front post double crochets into the correct stitches, if you look at this 3rd row down, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3 single crochets, then the front post stitch, 1, 2, 3 front post stitch, 1, 2, 3 front post stitch, and so on until the last 4 single crochets at the end. At the end it's always gonna be 4 single crochets. Now I turn my work and the next row is very simple. I start with 1 chain and I make a single crochet into each stitch across. And here I finished this row. The amount of stitches is 24 in my sample, and the amount of stitches in each row will stay the same. And I know that it's quite easy for beginner crocheters to lose the stitches at the end and at the beginning of the row. So if you are a beginner crocheter, I highly recommend counting stitches. So here I have 6 rows and it's time to change the color. I'm gonna go back to crocheting with dark gray, and just like I did before, I undo this last stitch and finish it with dark gray. So I take this yarn tail up and I finish this last single crochet with this dark gray. So make sure that it's not too tight on this side. When we're going to crochet the border around the entire piece, this piece of yarn will be hidden under stitches of the border. Okay, so I turn my work and now I continue crocheting with this dark gray yarn. I make 1 chain, and into each one of the next 3 single crochets I work a single crochet. 1, 2, 3. Now I skip the next single crochet and I look at the next one right here, and again I go 3 rows down, 1, 2, 3, and right here there is this single crochet. It's right after the front post double crochet, and around this single crochet I will work my front post stitch. So yarn over and I work a front post double crochet. So now you see that this front post double crochet is also tilted to the side, and this is the skipped single crochet right there. I'm not going to crochet into it because this new stitch now corresponds to that, but into the next single crochet I work a single crochet and then 1 more and 1 more. So the pattern goes 3 single crochets, front post, tilted double crochet. So again, this is my next single crochet, I'm skipping it. This is the next one, and I go 3 rows down, 1, 2, 3. Here is the stitch right after the front post double crochet that was already made. So right here I insert the hook and work a front post double crochet. This stitch that I skipped, I'm not gonna crochet into it because this stitch corresponds to it. And then I work 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and now a front post double crochet. And what do I make right here around the single crochet 3 rows down, and this single crochet is right after the double crochet that was made. Three single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and a double crochet right here. 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and a front post double crochet. And then there's gonna be 4 single crochets at the end of the row. 3 and 4. This is what it looks like. I turn my work. The next row is simple. It's a row of single crochets. I work a single crochet into each stitch of the previous row. Here I finished this row, and it's time to change the color. I'm gonna continue crocheting with red yarn. I undo the last stitch, just the top loop of it, and I finished that last stitch with the red yarn. Again, I need to make sure that it's not too tight over here, and from time to time I might need to untangle these yarns because I carry on 3 yarns as I crochet. I turn my work. I start the next row with 1 chain, and the pattern is the same as it was before, so it's gonna be 3 single crochets and then tilted front post double crochet. So I make 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and then my next front post double crochet is going to be worked around the single crochet that is right after the front post double crochet that was already made, but it's 3 rows down, so right here. And as you're gonna crochet more rows of the pattern, it's gonna become much easier identifying that single crochet where the front post double crochet should be worked. And then 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and then a front post double crochet 3 rows down around single crochet that is right after the front post double crochet that was made over here. And again 3 single crochets and front post double crochet, 3 single crochets and a front post double crochet, 3 single crochets and a front post double crochet. And these stitches right here, these front post double crochets, also can be referred to as drop down stitches, and that's because we are working them not into the last row, but we are like literally dropping it a few rows down, and in this pattern it's the 3rd row down from the top. And at the end of the row there's always gonna be 4 single crochets. I turn my work, and the back side rows or front side rows are always easy. You start with 1 chain and you make a single crochet into each stitch across. Here I am at the end of this row, and again it's time to change the color. Now I will continue crocheting with light gray. We start with 1 chain and then 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and drop down front post double crochet, 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and a drop down front post double crochet. And that's it. That's how this pattern is worked. And here is my sample. I'm going to stop here, and next I will show you how to make the border. I'm making the border with the dark gray yarn, so I'm going to continue crocheting with the dark gray. The red yarn and light gray I already cut off, leaving about 3-4 inches tails. For the border, I'm going to use a smaller size hook, F 3.75, because I want to crochet my border tighter than the rest of my crochet piece. So I turn my work. I start with 1 chain, and I make a single crochet into each single crochet across the last row. And I try to crochet a bit tighter than I did before. Here is the last stitch of this row, and into this last stitch I will work 3 single crochets because this is my corner space, and in each corner space I will work 3 single crochets. Now I'm going to continue crocheting along the side, and I will make a single crochet into each end of row. And that's how I crochet all the way across to the next corner. Here I am at the next corner, and into this corner space I work 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to continue crocheting into the original chain, and I have this short yarn tail. I will crochet over it so it gets hidden. And here I make a single crochet into each chain or into each stitch. And I crochet all the way to the next corner. Here I am at the next corner, and here I also make 3 single crochets. Now I'm going to continue crocheting along this side, and into each end of row I work 1 single crochet. I'm gonna continue crocheting, but when I get over here I will crochet over these yarn tails so that they get hidden into my work as well. And this is where I started this round, and into this corner stitch I already made 1 single crochet, so I'm gonna make 2 more. 1, 2, and then join with a slip stitch and finish this round. So here I have 1 round of single crochets around the entire piece. And now I'm simply going to make a few more rounds of single crochets, making 1 single crochet into each single crochet, and into corner spaces I will make 3 single crochets.